Hey guys, welcome to episode 9 of our Snap series. Today I will be teaching you Lab 2 from Unit 2. This lab deals specifically with lists. You have actually worked with lists before in the Greet and Gossip lab. The first step is to drag out the set2 block along with the list block. Click the left arrow on this list block so you will have an empty list rather than a list with one empty item. Drag this list into where the 0 is, press the down arrow, and set the shopping list variable as your main list. So click the block, there we go. Next, I want to introduce both the add and the insert blocks. Let's start with the add block. Say I want to add tomatoes to my shopping list. First, I would drag in the shopping list variable and put it in the place of where this list icon is, and then I would type in tomatoes and click it. There we go, we added tomatoes to our shopping list. Now imagine I want to insert cucumbers at a specific spot on the list. Once again, we drag in the shopping list variable in the place of the list icon, and we type in cucumbers. And we insert cucumbers at the one spot on the shopping list, so it overrides the tomatoes position. So now we have cucumbers at the one spot. Alright? Now we have to write the script for the add item button sprite, so that when this sprite is clicked, it will ask the user for a new item and then put the user's answer in the grocery list. The first step is to go to the control tab and get the when I am clicked block. Next, we have to go to the sensing tab, take the ask block, and then take an answer block. So then you connect these two, and then you type in the question, what item do you want to add? So now we utilize this add block, connect it, and then we put this answer portion into where the words are. So basically, when the sprite is clicked, it would ask the user, what item do you want to add? And then that user's answer would be added to the shopping list. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let's try it out. There we go, we added carrots to our list. Now, let's work on the clear list sprite, alright? So with this sprite, our goal is when this is clicked, it clears the full list. Okay? So, first you want to go to the control tab, drag in the when I'm click block. Now, duplicate this and put it in the clear list section. There we go. And that's really all you need. That's really all you need. Let's try it out. There we go. Our shopping list has cleared. So to explain, basically, when the sprite is clicked, it sets the shopping list as your main list, so it completely resets everything that's in the shopping list. Right? And now finally, the delete sprite. Once again, we're gonna get a when I'm click block, drag that in here. Get a ask block, along with always you get an answer block. And now I'm gonna introduce a block we haven't used prior, which is the delete block here. So the goal here is to be asked which item number you want to delete when clicking the delete item button. Okay? After answering, it would delete the specific item number that you input. Okay? So type in the question, what item number on the list do you want to delete? So we connect that to the when I'm clicked block, and then connect the delete block, put an answer, make sure you're dragging in the shopping list variable, and then boom, this should work. So let's try out every single sprite here. Let's add apples, then we could add peaches and oranges. Now let's say you want to delete peaches off this list. We press delete item and we input 2 because peaches is item number 2. There we go, it deleted peaches. Now let's say we just want to clear our list and restart. You click the clear sprite. There we go, the list has restarted. The second part of this lab is building a quiz. The quiz we'll make today is a capital quiz. The first step is to make a variable called capital quiz. Go to the variables tab, press make a variable, and type in capital quiz. Now we want to make a constructor block as well as two selectors. A constructor block constructs one example of the data structure. By naming the pieces of the structure, the constructor makes it certain that every time you use it, you build the structure in the right order. Selectors each select one piece of the data structure. Go to the operators tab and press make a block. Now just follow what I'm doing here. Later on it will make sense. Select reporter and type in quiz item, comma. Press this little plus and make the title the title text question. Press that again, type in question, type here, answer title text, and then answer input name. There we go. Oh, do not forget to make this the text type right here. There we go. Okay, and now you want to report both the question and answer. So this will be our constructor block right here. Okay, there we go. Now we have to make two of our selectors. Okay, press make a block, select the reporter option again, and type in question from a quiz item. There we go. Now click this little plus, type in question, and make this the list type. Report, and now we're gonna add this block, item 1 of question. Okay, so make sure you have this. Go to the operators tab, make a block, and now we're gonna make our second selector. So type in answer from quiz item reporter, click this little plus, type in answer and make it list once again, and then make sure you're reporting item 2 this time of answer. Okay, so make sure it looks like this. Press OK. There we go. We have our conductor and we have our two selectors. Okay, now we're gonna take out the set2 block right here, which we worked with before. Click the down arrow, press capital quiz. Now what we're gonna be doing here is we're gonna be setting the capital quiz. We're gonna set the capital quiz to 5 different questions and answers. Okay, so I'll show you what to do here. You drag out a list and then you click the right arrow 4 times so you have 5 spaces. Okay, just to clarify, we're gonna add in every space, we're gonna add a question and answer using our conductor. So you go to the operators tab and then you get 5 of these right here. Now in each one, you type in a question and an answer. So I already have these pre-written, so I'm just gonna copy and paste them. Save time. So there we go. What is the capital of New York? Albany. What is the capital of California? Sacramento. Texas. Austin. New Jersey, Trenton, and then lastly we have Georgia, which is Atlanta. Okay, so we have these 5, and now we're just gonna insert them into these little spaces here. And you drag this whole list block into where the 0 is. So if you did everything correctly up until this point, when you click set capital quiz to this, it should set it to the list. There we go. You have 5 questions and 5 answers. Now let's say we want to quiz ourselves on what the capital of New York is. First, take out an ask block along with an answer block. Then go to the control tab, take out an if block. And now we're gonna work with our 2 selectors. Take out both selectors. Okay. So, also I forgot, take out 2 of these item blocks. Okay. So, let's say we wanna ask what the capital of New York is. We see that the first block, the first question and answer is about New York. So in this ask section right here, we're gonna input ask question, item 1 of the capital quiz list, right? We do this. Now we take this if block, and oh, I forgot to also grab this equals right here. Okay, so let's say we want to ask what the capital of New York is, and if we get it right, the sprite says correct. So we take out a say block, we type in correct, and we're gonna input that right here. Now in this if section, we're gonna input this equals block, answer block, and then we're gonna take this answer from quiz item, put it here, item 1 of capital quiz, and that should be it. Okay, so to reiterate, when we press this, it would ask us the question from item 1 of capital quiz. There are 5 items in this capital quiz list, and it would ask the question part of item 1. The question part of item 1 is, what is the capital of New York? And then it would wait. When we input this, if it is correct, if the answer part from item 1 of capital quiz equals our answer, then it will tell us we're correct. Okay, I hope you guys are following along. So we click ask, what is the capital of New York? We're gonna input Albany. There we go, it tells us we are correct. Okay guys, so now we're gonna make the full quiz. In order to do this, we're going to use this new block in the control tab. Go to the control tab and drag this out. It's the 4i block. So for every I, there will be a question asked. Since we have 5 questions, we're gonna do from 1 to 5. Okay. We're also gonna get a 1 green flag as click block and connect that here. Okay, so we could use already this that we made before, like these set of blocks, we could use them. Okay. So for I from 1 to 5, let's map it out. Ask question quiz item 1. So if we were to keep it like this, it would just keep asking what is the capital of New York and then Albany, right? We don't want that. So we want from questions 1 to 5. So we take this and we drag it into where the 1 is. Okay. And then it's looking much better now. Okay, let's say we want to spice it up a bit though. So let's say if the person would be wrong and would get the question wrong, right? It would tell them that they're wrong and then tell them what the answer was to the question. We would use for this an if and else block right here. Okay, so drag this out, drag this portion into here, and then this portion into here, delete this. Okay, now for the else, we wanted to say something, right? So we wanted to say, for example, that the person is wrong and then what the correct answer is. The way to do this would be to get a join block right here and then write, you are wrong, the answer was, space at the end, and then in this little section we would put this part right here, look. This right here, this was the correct answer that it was looking for, right? It would go in here. And then at the end, we would just put a period for punctuation purposes. And we should be good here. So, sorry, it's not fitting. This is a little annoying. There we go. So, plug this in here. And we should be good, okay? So let's just try to map this out. I always like to map it out. So when the green flag is clicked for questions 1 through 5, it would ask us, first, question 1. What is the capital of New York? Albany. We get that right, it would say correct for 2 seconds. Great, you got it right. Now, if it would ask us what is the capital of New York and you'd say Atlanta, then the block would go to the L section, and then it would say, you are wrong, the answer was Albany, period, for 2 seconds. Okay, let's try it out. Now let's say we type in Atlanta here, you are wrong, the answer was Austin. There we go. Let's try it again. Albany. You are wrong, and answer was Trenton. So there we go. As you guys see, this works perfectly. So once again, let's try to spice things up. Let's say we want to keep a track of the user's score, okay? So let's say every time someone does this quiz, they would get a score at the end, okay? The first step here is to make a variable called score. So go to the variables tab, make a variable and call it score. Okay. Off the bat, you want to make sure that every time you restart this quiz, the score is set to 0. So the score restarts. So we would take the set to block, put it under the green flag. You want it to be the first thing that happens. And then you would set score to 0. Okay? Now, the way we want this game to work out is every time the person would get something right, it would change the score by 1. Excuse me. We grab this change block and we put it under the say correct for 2 seconds block. And then we would change score by 1. So it would add 1 to the score every time we got it right. For else, we wouldn't do anything. You don't want to change the score by -1 because that wouldn't really make sense here. And then lastly, at the very end of this whole quiz, you want the person who's playing a quiz to know their score. So you would take, say right here, and you want to get the join block from the operators tab, and then type in your score was. You want to make an extra space for the score variable, and then add an exclamation point. Now drag in the score variable into this middle section here, and we're done. So let's try to map it out, okay? So when the green flag is clicked, the score would be set to 0, and then it would ask us questions 1 to 5. If we were to get the question right, it would tell us we're correct and then change the score by 1. If that weren't the case and we get the question wrong, then it would tell us we're wrong and the answer. And at the very end, it would tell us our overall score. Okay, let's try it out. Click the green flag. What is the capital of New York? Albany. Tells us we're correct and then changes the score by 1. What is the capital of California? Sacramento. Correct, and change the score by 1 again. Now let's say we want to purposefully get it wrong, so we type in Atlanta. You are wrong, the answer was Austin. So what is the capital of New Jersey? Trenton. And what is the capital of Georgia? Atlanta. There we go. It tells us our score was 4, so we finished with an overall score of 4 because we got the Texas question wrong, but apart from that, everything else we got right. So that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope I helped you guys, and I wish you all the very best. Goodbye.